Hello, class 8. So, we have been studying chapter number 12, friction. Yes, today we are going to finish this chapter. Yes, guys, today actually we are going to finish the chapter. Okay, so as you the last topic that we studied it was increasing friction, means how to increase friction. Yes, the last topic that we studied was increasing friction. Yes, how to increase friction, that topic we studied. So kids, you already know what is the meaning of friction. Yes, we will revise again. Okay, don't worry. Okay, we will revise again. But before we start revision, uh, let me ask you. Tell me, when will the friction increase? Yes, tell me, kids. When will the friction increase? So, friction can be increased by increasing the roughness of the surface. Friction can be increased by the increasing the roughness of the surface. So, as you can see in the picture, look the picture of tire. Look the picture of the tire. So, the surface of the tire is rough or smooth? Tell me, is the surface of tire is rough or smooth? Yes, definitely you will say that the surface of um, tire is not smooth. The surface of tire is rough. Yes, the surface of tire is rough. Yes, right. So why do we make the surface of tire rough? Yes, why do we make the surface of tire rough? Yes, why? The simple answer is we make the surface of tire rough because to increase the friction. Yes. So remember, kids, uh, the friction can be increased. The friction can be increased by the increasing the roughness of the surface. Yes, friction can be increased by increasing the roughness of the surfaces which are in contact. Okay, you can see the shoes. Yes, can you see the picture of soles of shoes? So, soles of shoes are actually grooved. Yes, soles of shoes are actually grooved. Yes, why? The soles of shoes are grooved to have a better grip on the floor. Yes, to have a better grip on the floor. And you can see the brake pad of the vehicle. Yes, can you see the brake pad of the vehicle? They are actually rough. Yes, why? To stop the moving vehicle when the brakes are applied. To stop the moving vehicle when the brakes are applied. You can see the picture of a gymnast. Yes, you can see the picture of a gymnast. So a gymnast applies some coarse substance on the hand for better grip. For better grip. So in this way we can increase the friction. Now the question is how to reduce the friction, how to decrease the friction. Okay, we will study this one, but before it, let's revise whatever we studied in previous class. So can you tell me what is friction? What is friction? Yes, friction is a force. Yes, which oppose the motion between two relative surface. Yes, friction is a force which oppose the motion between two relative surface. Yes, and uh, kids, you know that there are different type of friction. Yes, static friction, sliding friction, rolling friction. Yes, static friction actually comes into play when the object is at rest. Static friction comes into play when the object is rest. Yes, and um, uh, sliding friction comes into play when when an object slides over on the surface. Yes, over another object surface. So sliding friction is a friction exerted when an object slides over a surface. Okay, and rolling friction is a friction which exerted when an object rolls over a surface. Yes, and remember kids, the value of static friction is always more than sliding friction, but the value of sliding friction is always more than rolling friction. Yes, and what is the main cause of friction? What is the main cause of friction? Friction is actually caused by due to the interlocking of two irregular surface. Yes, friction is caused by due to the interlocking of irregularities. Friction is caused by friction is caused due to the interlocking of irregularities between the two surfaces which are in contact. Okay, remember smooth surface have minor irregularities between two surfaces, and rough surface actually have a larger irregularities between two surfaces. So force of friction is more if the surface are rough. Force of friction is always more if the surface are rough. Yes, and which factor affect on the friction? Nature of the surface. Yes, it depends on the how smooth or hard. If the surface is hard, then friction will increase. And it also depends, friction also depends on how hard the surface press together, how hard the surface press to. If the surface are pressing too much hard, then the friction will increase. If they are not pressing too hard, then the friction will automatically decrease. Okay, and what are the advantages of friction, kids? How is friction useful? How is friction useful? Well, friction is useful sometimes, like friction is useful for many of our daily activity. Friction between the feet and the ground help to walk on the ground. It is possible to write with a pen or pencil on the paper due to the friction. Even a teacher teacher enables to write on the blackboard due to the friction between the chalk and blackboard. Sometimes friction is harmful. Yes, means sometimes friction, there are some disadvantage. Friction is sometimes undesirable, like soles of shoes wear out due to friction. Yes, soles of shoes wear out due to friction. Tires of bicycle and automobile wear out due to friction. Step of staircase and foot over the bridge and railway station wear out due to friction. And knives and razor lose their sharpness edges due to the friction. Okay, I hope you understood. Now kids, let's try to find out the answer, how to reduce friction. Yes, how to reduce friction. Let's move on the next point. So kids, topic is reducing friction. So friction can be reduced by increasing the smoothness. Yes. How to reduce friction? Friction can be reduced by increasing the friction can be reduced by increasing the smoothness. Yes, friction can be reduced by increasing the smoothness. Okay, so to increase the smoothness we use lubricant. What is lubricant? Lubricants are actually those substances which decrease the friction, or you can say substances which reduce the friction are called lubricants. What are lubricants? Substances which reduce the friction are called lubricants, or you can say substances which decrease the friction are called lubricants. We use many lubricants like oil, grease are used. Even trolley to nowadays below the trolley we use small wheels. Yes, why do we use wheels? To actually to make it easy, so it will easily roll. The trolley can easily roll on wheel. Okay, so it will reduce the friction. Okay, using ball bearing. Yes, using ball bearing also the reason. Ball bearing you might have seen very small in size, made of iron. Yes, you have seen. If you have not seen ball bearing, Keep patience, I will show you how does the ball bearing look like. Okay, don't worry, I will show you ball bearing. Okay, so we use grease and oil. Yes, if you have bicycle, then you know kids, in bicycle brake we give oil, and even we put the oil in what to say, in chain of the bicycle. Yes, we put the oil, definitely. Even the bale, even the cycle bale, even the bale of the cycle, we put the oil. Yes, so why do we put? So it will work smooth. It will work smooth. When the smoothness will increase means when the smoothness will increase means friction will decrease. When the smoothness increase, friction decrease. Okay, and carom board, during playing the carom board, we what do we do? We use a powder. Yes, definitely use. Okay, and in the machines, heavy machine, we use the grease, oil. Yes, even in the selling fans, bicycle and vehicles, in selling fans, if you will ever open the selling fans, or if you will open the tire of the bicycle, there actually ball bearings are fit. Yes, why? Because because of them easily you can ride the bicycle. Okay, so now let me show you some picture. You will understand. Let's move on the next point. So kids, as you can see some picture. Yes, look the picture of a trolley. Yes, can you see the picture of trolley? So in the trolley we use four wheels. Yes, at the bottom we use four wheel. So we can easily draw the trolley. Yes, we can easily draw the trolley. Yes, am I right? Kids, rollers, you can say wheels or you can say rollers. Okay, rollers is actually a correct one. So rollers are used in luggage bag to reduce friction. Yes, rollers are used to reduce the friction. Yes, rollers are used in luggage bag to reduce the friction. So you can easily draw it. You can easily roll by just using the even the one finger. And wheels are used in vehicle. As you can see the car, as you can see the picture of car, you can see the vehicles. So wheels are used in the vehicles tend to reduce the friction. You can see that some boys and girls are playing carom board. Yes, you can see some girls are playing carom board. Yes, some girls are playing carom board. And kids, you already, you might have played carom board. I love this game. It's a very good game. Yes, and before playing carom board, we sprinkle a powder. Yes, we sprinkle any powder which is very soft, because powder is very soft, powder is smooth. And whenever we know that due to the smoothness, friction reduce. Yes, we know. So we sprinkle the water, sprinkle the powder, sorry, not water, sprinkle the powder. Yes, we sprinkle the powder. So when we will play using carom, then we can easily play. Now you can see the picture, the last picture, at the right side at the bottom. You can see the last picture. These are called ball bearing. Yes, what is the spelling of ball bearing? BALL ball, BEARING, bearing. Yes, ball bearing. So ball bearing are actually used in ceiling fan. Yes, they are used in ceiling fan, bicycles and vehicles also, to reduce the friction. Yes, to reduce the friction. I hope you understood that how to reduce friction. Friction can be reduced by many ways. Okay, point number one, friction can be reduced using the lubricants. like powder, oil, grease, they are called lubricants. Yes, what are lubricants? Substances which can reduce the friction. Point number 2, using the roller and wheel. Okay. Point number 3, we sprinkle powder on a carom board to reduce the friction. Point number 4, oil or grease is applied between the moving parts of the machine to reduce friction. Yes, we apply oil and grease between the moving parts of the machine. Yes, in the engine. So why do we apply the grease? Because when the friction increase, the machine parts damage and they start making the sound, noise pollution. So to reduce it, that's why we apply oil and grease. Oil and grease is applied between the moving parts of the machine to reduce the friction. Point number 5 is rollers are used in luggage bag to reduce the friction. Yes. Point number 6, wheels are used in vehicles to reduce the friction. Yes. And last point is ball bearing are used in ceiling fans, bicycle and vehicles to reduce friction. I hope you understood. Now let's try to find the answer. That let's study one more friction. Let's study one more friction. That friction is called fluid friction. Let's move on the next point. Okay, so let's try to understand fluid friction. Yes, what is fluid friction? Fluid means what? Fluid means whenever we use the fluid word, FLUID, it means we are talking about liquid and gas. Okay. So fluid is anything which can flow. Fluid is anything which can flow. Means liquid flow, gas also flow, but solid cannot flow. Okay. So fluid friction is the force of friction which is exerted by liquid and gas on object moving through them. Yes. So what is fluid friction? The friction which is applied by liquid and gas. Yes, the friction which is applied by liquid and gas on object which are moving through them. Okay, so it apply only those objects which are moving through liquid and gas. Okay, so fluid friction also depend upon some things. Yes, fluid depend upon the speed of the object. It also depend upon the shape of the object. It also depend on the nature of the fluid. Yes, so it is actually applied by liquid and gas on those objects which are moving through them. You know, fishes actually moves through the liquid, so fluid friction is applied on the fishes. Yes, even the gas means air is also apply a fluid friction. So when the birds fly, when the aeroplane fly, fluid friction is applied. Yes, remember this point. So fluid friction is the force of friction which is exerted by liquid and gas on object moving through them. It depends upon few things like speed of the object, shape of the object, nature of the. Let's try to understand it more with some pictures. Let's move on the next point. Okay, so look the picture of uh, bird and aeroplane. Yes, can you see the picture of bird and aeroplane? Yes. So how is the shape of bird and aeroplane? Yes, tell me kids that how is the shape of bird and aeroplane? Yes, their shape is actually streamline shape. Yes, their shape is actually called streamline shape. Yes, so fishes which uh, uh, birds that are flying in the air, they have streamlined body because of this special shape of the object. They reduce the friction. Yes, so as I said that fluid friction depend upon some factor. So it depend upon the shape of the object. Yes, due to the shape of the object, due to the streamlined shape, friction reduce. Look the picture of fishes. Yes, so fishes live in water, we know. Yes, so their shape is also, they also have streamlined body. That's why they easily reduce the fluid friction and they can easily swim in the water. Yes, because of streamlined body, the birds can easily fly by reducing the friction, and in the same way fishes can swim by reducing the friction. Aeroplane and spacecraft, you can see the picture of spacecraft, yes. They also have the same streamlined body which help to reduce the friction. I hope you understood what is fluid friction. Fluid friction is the force of friction applied by liquid and gases on an object moving through them. Okay, now let's move on the last point. Okay, so it's time to ask question from you. Okay, uh, so as you can see question number 1 on the screen, yes. So what is fluid? What is fluid? Define fluid friction with example. Yes, define fluid friction with examples. Okay, so what is fluid? Yes, so fluid is liquid. Fluid is that thing which can flow. Yes, liquid and gases are called fluid. Okay, what is fluid friction? Fluid friction is the force of friction exerted by liquid and gas on object moving through them. Yes, for example, birds actually fly in air. They have streamlined body, so it reduces friction, so they can easily fly. Fishes living in water, they can swim. They have a streamlined body which reduce the friction. So I can say that fluid friction depend upon the speed of the object, yes, shape of the object, nature of the fluid. Yes, fluid friction depend upon the speed of the object, shape of the object, and nature of the fluid. So if the speed of the object is fast, then fluid friction will automatically reduce. Yes, aeroplane fly with a speed, and due to its streamlined body, the friction force decreases. Yes, okay. Now question number 2. Question number 2, as you can see on the screen, that how to reduce friction. Yes, how to reduce friction. Yes, how to reduce friction. So friction can be reduced by increasing the smoothness. Yes, so friction can be reduced using the different thing, like using lubricants like powder, oil and grease. Yes, or using rollers or wheels, or using ball bearings also friction can be reduced. And we sprinkle the powder on carom board, which also reduce the friction. Even rollers are used in luggage or bag, or you can say carry bag, to reduce friction. Wheels are used in vehicle to reduce friction. And ball bearing are used in ceiling fan. Yes, ball bearings are used in ceiling fan, bicycles, vehicles, to reduce the friction. So by this method we can reduce the friction. So again, I hope that you understood. Now the chapter is finished. Yes, chapter is finished. Now we will meet with a new chapter in next class. Till then, take care, do study, and bye bye.